Hello everybody, my name's Alex and welcome to the Beginner's Guide to Cryptos. Today we're going to be talking about scams and how to stay safe when you're out there. I've been investing in cryptos now for over 5 years and I've invested in more than 100 different cryptocurrencies to date. I'd like to now give back, share my knowledge with everybody who would like to listen and genuinely help people transform from being not happy about cryptos or unsure to confident that they can get around this ecosystem and find out how to do it the best way. So scams, unfortunately I'm afraid to say there are lots of scams out there at the moment. Cryptocurrency is still very unregulated in many places and it just means that the doors are wide open for people to come in and try and be a little bit naughty and try and take your cryptos from you. So a lot of the scams are very similar to other scams that are out there. One of the main reasons for your two-factor authentication, especially in the banking sector, is because there are so many scams. I know multiple people who've been scammed with credit cards and bank accounts and all those kind of things. So it's not surprising that crypto is also in the firing line too. So you can expect to find people doing phishing emails and phishing text messages, trying to find out who you are, what you're doing, and get your vital information. So just like you wouldn't give out your passwords or your PIN numbers to any strangers out there who want to get into your bank account, the same thing goes for crypto. So if you get an email phishing for this sort of information, it's information that they don't need. So if they were real, genuine people, they would not need this information because they're on the inside. So please, please, please don't fall for these emails pretending to be exchanges. Just think of it like this. Have you made contact with them or have they made contact with you? If they've made contact with you, then you definitely don't need to think about replying to these people, do you? So just be careful and check all this information. I had a little bit of trouble with one of my accounts not too long ago. It was an exchange called KuCoin and I had a little bit of a problem. I needed to speak with support about something and I'm not really sure how it happened thinking back, but I somehow found myself on a scammer's thread. What I mean by that is I was looking for a way to contact support. It was really, really unclear and not very helpful at all. And what happened is I then went on to what appeared to be like a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group. But it was very obvious that it was just people pretending to be KuCoin support team and they were trying to help me. But of course they needed all this information which I wasn't willing to give them. But luckily, because I could see that it was very dubious in the first place, and I was almost like, this is a bit strange. I didn't fall for that one, fortunately, so that was good. And I did just find the actual support email and just emailed support in the end, and they got back to me and sorted the issue out, as you'd expect. You may have heard the term rug pulls. Rug pulls is something where people are launching crypto coins. So in essence, they're making their own crypto up and releasing them out to the public. The only problem is that they generally will own a high percentage of this coin. So they'll leave some for people to buy so that they can get involved, but they will own the vast majority of these cryptos. And what they do is they let the value go up just enough for them to profit from it, and then they'll sell all of their cryptocurrencies, all of their coins to the market, which will basically just completely squash the coin, and it'll just completely be worth nothing. The value will just completely end up on the floor. So this is normally low capped, brand new coins that have just been released. So you've really got to do a little bit of research, hence why on previous videos I've mentioned CoinMarketCap, and why it's really good to stick with the big boys, on what they're doing at the moment. If you start trying to be smart and clever and jump into these low cap coins, which are brand new releases. There's often a lot of ones out there that are not genuine, unfortunately. And that leads to the next one. So there are also just fake cryptocurrencies. And what I mean by that is different to the rug pull where someone's created one and you can buy it and you can sell it. A fake one can be that you can buy it but you can never sell it. So you could have bought this crypto and then when you try to sell it back, you can't do it because there's nothing there to sell in the first place. You effectively not bought a crypto, you bought a picture. So it won't work for you very well. So that is generally what you'll find on decentralized exchanges though, rather than sort of your bigger exchanges, because they vet the coins that they have in there much more and they make sure that they sort of have a background or that they're genuine in the first place. Whereas a decentralized exchange, anybody can literally list a coin on there, like anybody. I could make one up right now and list it on there and sell it to people, no problem. So you've got to make sure that you're investing in solid, big name, big backing crypto coins, okay, with real utility. There's also been going around a lot of AI things at the moment. So what I mean by that is for big genuine people involved in crypto, so you may have heard of Michael Saylor or Elon Musk is obviously got his toes in cryptocurrency as well. And what they can now do with AI is they can create something called deep fakes, which basically means that they can take the sound and the speech, they can create video and they can create a fully computer generated AI version of one of these people speaking, and they are literally pretending that you send them your crypto and they'll send you double the amount back, or invest in this particular crypto and you'll make a fortune. Unfortunately, these are completely fake, and the only thing that can genuinely lead you to realise that they are fake is not because of the quality, because they are incredibly good quality, but because they're normally saying something that just doesn't make sense. You know, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, unfortunately, as the saying goes. So AI has played a bit of a nasty one there, so watch out for those. Again, these videos can be, I've seen them on YouTube just as adverts. I've seen them on Telegram groups and chats that I might go on, and people just send you the video and say, hey, have you seen this video by so-and-so? I'm going to go buy this right now. You've just got to be aware of that if you're interfacing out there with people. And fake exchanges, that is the next one. So what I have seen and sort of experienced is that there are exchanges, so clever people creating an exchange. You can swap your crypto and you can go in there, you can move it around, but the problem is you can never take it back out once it's in there. And for people who understand what I mean, they try to, when you try to take it back out, they'll say, oh, there's not enough in here to pay the gas fees or the fees to move your crypto around. So you've got to put more in there to get your crypto back out. So what that means is that you might put some in there and you'll go, oh, I need to put a little bit more in to get that back out, only to lose that as well. So these exchanges do exist, unfortunately. So it's really important that you check before using any exchange that it is, known about, people have used it, maybe it's been recommended to you. Just check it out. But this is why I stick to all the really big exchanges. I use Binance, I use Coinbase, and I'll use Uphold and KuCoin, and these really big exchanges that are sort of, they have a lot of history, they have support teams, they have people you can contact, there's thousands and thousands of people using them, and not just sort of like, oh, use this one over here because you're going to get a better exchange rate and lower fees. There's normally a reason why that is happening. So it's really important that you make sure that you're checking out these exchanges and making sure that they're right for you. So what do we need to do then? So one thing that we can definitely do is always make sure we check the source of where a contact came from or information came from. So if we're receiving emails from, but I use Binance because it's such a huge one, a huge exchange. But if you get an email from Binance, say, or Coinbase or Uphold, make sure it's from them. Make sure that it's genuine. Make sure that it looks correct. And look at the information. What are they asking you, and why would they need that information? So just use a little bit of sort of skepticism, I guess, on this kind of thing. Also, when you're looking at videos and things, I've noticed that, say you're watching a video on YouTube, say that somebody's released, often it may say, rather than just say, like, for example, Elon Musk, it might say Elon Musk 112 or something, or it might have a strange letter at the end, which is basically trying to divert you to a fake account that's not real, and they'll play you some AI videos. And just be super careful in checking those things. And then you just really need to make sure you've set up all your defaults. So you want to have your two-factor security in place. You want to have those PIN numbers and seed phrases and all your passwords all like saved somewhere. Really important. Do not save them online. Do not copy and paste them into a message and send them around. Don't do anything like that. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't need to do that. You wouldn't do it with your bank account details, so why would you do it with your cryptocurrency details? There's also something called a VPN. I mean, they've been around for a long time now. They've been used for lots of different things. But a VPN is something I do use, and it puts another layer of security. Creating that private network, hiding your IP address from anybody who's out there. It's just giving you another place to sort of like keep safe. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it for now. I want you all to understand that even though there are scams out there, cryptocurrency, as long as you manage it, is genuinely a safe place to be. Just stay within the mainstream. Make sure that you're using the support teams that are correct for that particular exchange, and just make sure that you're looking at everything with a critical eye, and just making sure that you're happy with things. Wherever money is involved, I'm afraid people are often there to try and help relieve it from you. So I wanted to remind you all that I've also created something called the Free Essentials List. It's something that's got all the information that every beginner should absolutely know about, and it's free for you guys. All you've got to do is make a comment below saying please send the free guide, and I'll get that over to you straight away. It's something that I've put together, and I really want to help transform everybody into happy, confident, crypto investors, because this cryptocurrency space is only going in one direction. It's only going to take over the fiat system. So you might as well get in. You might as well, enjoy making some money out of the big people who run all of this sort of stuff. That it's just going to be the way forward. So with that said, jump into it, get out there, watch the other videos if you haven't, because there's brilliant information on all those things. And if you've got any questions, please put them in the chat below. I am so happy to answer any of these things for you, no problem. So until then, take care, and I'll see you soon. Cheers, bye bye.